That's right. It's my show. Happy to be indoors. Happy to be with you on this cold day. The cold weather stopped the drones. Did you hear about this happening up here?
What? I know the e-drones. Is that what people? I see e-drones people are talking about on the interwebs. Is that what that
No,
is?
that's something else. We had an issue. We've been having an issue. The snow kind of shut it down, at least for a night, it looked like. Where all of a sudden, all over the county and in the county next door to ours, giant drones were popping up. No one knew who was controlling them. By one report on the news where they interviewed some guy, he said it was above my car. It was as big as my car.
What?
Now, most drones are not that big. Most commercial drones on sale to the public are not that big or have batteries that could last the amount
Well,
of time
no.
people
Well, I
are
was
seeing
about
these
to say,
things.
what kind of fucking 9-volt battery would it take to levitate a fucking car over a tree?
So the night this was all over the news, I go outside and there they fucking are. I see them now.
Uh,
And I'm like, fuck. And it's nighttime, so you can't really gauge just like how big everything is or how far up it is. But they're making turns that, it's not an airplane because there was no airport where it was coming from. And then all of a sudden it made a sharp turn. And it's interesting because Trump's golf course, where
oh,
he spends a
geez.
lot of time, is right over here. And there's also
Oh, he's over there now.
and there's also a military base not too far in the county here. So now they've restricted their airspace. But the FBI is asking the public
Well, now wait a
for
minute.
any
Now they've
information.
restricted
They don't know
their
where
air.
these giant military-grade drones have come from.
Well, that's what first of all, now now there was the operative word that I've noticed there. They've restricted their airspace. Like normally you could fly a fucking drone the size of a Honda Civic around over the military base.
See, I don't know what the rules are because it is kind of a new thing. Like we had a drone to look over the property just to see different things here. We weren't like flying miles away and zooming in and out and hovering over people's cars or whatever the fuck is happening. So it's pretty scary. No,
Well,
it's pretty scary because the explanation from the government isn't there's nothing to see here. It's if you guys know anything, please tell us.
what the fuck? Now wait a minute. Who is in charge of drone monitoring and drone operations? Something that big, you would think there would need to be either a license required or potentially a select few places that you would obtain something like that.
Right?
So suddenly they're just flying around. Is it multiple ones, you say?
Oh, yeah, no, there were a couple of reports. And again, when you see the report and you're like, holy shit, that sounds incredible. And then like other people back it up, you're like, whoa.
Well, I mean, were they
I
seeing
saw a
like
few.
the same one in different places, or
Oh, yeah.
were they seeing
There was someone who
different
reported
ones?
there was someone who was reported seeing 50 of them in a cluster.
What?
In a cluster, a giant cluster.
Wait a minute. God damn it. Hold on. What kind of Independence Day bullshit are you telling me now that this is not being broken into?
I'll look it up.
They need to be breaking into Dr. Phil or whoever with special news bulletins if there's 50 unknown drones the size of goddamn cars over New Jersey and the government doesn't know about them.
I have a brand new story that just went up on the New York Post website. The headline, mystery drones flying over New Jersey kept helicopter from taking patient to hospital.
Jesus.
College says, and here's some video of, yeah, that's what I saw. The mysterious New Jersey drones being investigated by the FBI recently kept a medevac helicopter from transporting a seriously injured patient to the hospital. It emerged Thursday. The medical helicopter was flying to an accident in Branchburg Township in Somerset County on Tuesday last week, but was unable to pick up the crash victim due to the drones hovering in the landing zone. Two security officers from Raritan Valley Community College closed roads to secure the crash site in preparation for the helicopter to land, but the request was canceled by the local fire captain just before 7 p.m. due to the hazardous presence of drones. Here's a quote. "We never found out what the actual drones were. It's kind of a mystery. We were asking around about that, but nobody knew anything. It comes after a flurry of other drone
Asking
sightings.
around, who do you fucking go to say, have you seen any giant automobile-sized drones lately?
Steve, is that yours? Is that yours? No? The drones have been spotted hovering in groups for hours in the vicinity of the Raritan River on a nightly basis of late. One Parsippany woman claims she saw up to 5 of the mysterious aircraft buzzing overhead Sunday.
Yeah, but she's from Parsippany.
It comes after a flurry of other drone sightings over the past 2 weeks in central New Jersey, not far from President-elect Donald Trump's Bedminster golf course. See, that's the other interesting thing. Knowing how he is, and knowing that he monitors the fucking news and everything, he knows this is happening. You gotta think he's like, holy shit, we gotta, what the fuck, how come no one has any answers to what these drones are?
Well, you would think that. You would think his mind would be blowing up, but if it's not, maybe he knows. Maybe he's the one who knows. Maybe he's got his own fucking Elon Musk funded space force trying to keep his whiny ass safe.
The Federal Aviation Administration has issued 2 temporary flight restrictions over Morris and Somerset County following multiple reports of unusual aircraft activity in the airspace over Trump National Golf Club Bedminster, as well as the U.S. Army hub, Picatinny Arsenal, in nearby Dover, New Jersey.
Wouldn't you think if it's a goddamn army base that there's a drone up there? Is it ours? No, well, go fucking get it. They'd have something that would go up there and there you are.
The FAA said it received reports as far back as November 18th. The FBI requested the restrictions out of an abundance of caution. An agency spokesperson said they remain in effect until December 26th.
Wait a minute, an abundance of caution? What would happen if a Delta fucking 747 or whatever model number they're flying these days would clip one of these things?
The FBI has also asked witnesses to send in high-resolution photos they've captured of the questionable flights, that's in quote, to their office for further review. It was unclear if the Branchburg patient was taken to the hospital by ambulance or by forgot all about him.
Flight's canceled, so we'll give you a voucher for a day's in, and they got a buffet for breakfast. No, is that in any way acceptable? It just,
No.
you know.
That's the thing. All of a sudden, in the last few days, the news has been covering it a little bit here. But then I didn't really see them last night with the bad weather. But this should be like a major, why the fuck are there mysterious drones that the FBI is asking for help identifying? That some are saying is the size of a car. And in clusters of 50. Flying around the air. What the fuck? How come no one has shot one down? How come no one has set up their own drone to follow the drone?
That's what I was going to say. You better be fucking glad you're up in New Jersey's instead of if this was in goddamn Wartburg, Tennessee, you'd have a bunch of fucking hillbillies on a roof of a barn just taking wild shots at these things with their fucking rifles. And how high are they flying?
That's a hard answer to give because it's at night usually. They're only coming out typically.
Oh, they only come out at night.
So you can't tell.
It's Edgar Winter. He's responsible.
Sometimes it's hard to gauge how high they are.
Well, how high?
I almost think it's a plane at first. That's the thing. The first time I saw it, I thought it was a plane because in the distance I saw the lights coming. And then as I got closer, I'm like, that's no plane. And then I was like, you know what? Let me take a step into my garage and just peek my head out so I don't get blown up by whatever the fuck this is.
Well, if it's no plane and it's either a bird or Superman, one or the other, right? You've narrowed it down. But here's if you take a rifle and you shoot it straight up in the air, how far will the bullet go up before eventually it comes down?
I hope to find out by the time they let me out of prison for doing that.
Well, no,
take a rifle and start shooting into the air in this neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying. In some places in the South, you would be having groups of fucking people on the roofs of barns with their rifles trying to shoot that thing. And depending on how high that thing is and what it's made out of, and et cetera, you'd have a lot of bullets falling back to the ground at a slight angle, but a tremendous fucking velocity.
Well, now when Swami makes me walk him at night, which I resent him for, I go out there I got this industrial, like, powered flashlight. One night I was on Facebook just scrolling shit. I must have mentioned out loud how I need a new flashlight. The next ad I saw was for, like, the super flashlight. I could see things miles away. I'm just going to shine it up on the thing to get a little clarity, see if maybe
Oh,
it says,
good. You can give them a tractor beam so the goddamn Venusians can suck you up and fucking put you in their zoo and breed you like a goddamn
just want to see if it says anything.
brood mare.
Made in Secaucus. I don't know what it'll say. I just want to know. But yeah, that's I didn't know if you had seen it because it had been on the news up here, but I don't know how it's.
No, we were busy with our factories blowing up. We didn't have time for your space invasion.
I'm telling you, man, this is World War III. It's all happening.
Is it from Earth? Is it terrestrial or non-terrestrial? That's what we got to find out about those drones. I had a drone in my backyard several years ago.
How big?
Well, I didn't see it even particularly up close, and I'll explain why, but I would estimate that it looked like it was about the size of a goddamn basketball or maybe a beach ball, something of that nature, with all of its things spread out. But I was looking out in the backyard the other day, not the other day, this was years ago. I was looking out in the backyard, idly, minding my own business, and I swear to God, I know he did it. I saw him do it. It looked like to me out of the corner of my eye like a bird flew almost straight down from the sky and landed because I saw the thing hit the top of a tree and rustle the leaves. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
And just out of the corner of my eye, and I'm thinking, well, what the fuck did that bird die and just fall out of the sky? And it is, in the back, so I didn't think I wasn't going to walk over there to see if I could find a fucking bird. But then I looked out about 10 minutes later, and there's some guy walking around in my backyard. And that's when I walked out there, and I said, can I help you? And come to find out, he was from the subdivision way in the back that they put in. I believe he's a gentleman who works for the fire department. So it's wonderful. He can bring his hose over to my backyard anytime. But he said, well, my son and I believe, he said, we lost our drone. I said, wait a minute. I said, about 10 minutes ago, would it have just fallen out of the sky? He said, yeah. I said, come here, I'll show you the tree. And it's this old maple tree that grows at a real, I don't know the degrees of angles, a 45-degree angle or whatever out of the ground, and then blah, blah, blah. And it was something that he could climb up the trunk and get on a limb and get in there because we saw it mired into the leaves. And he climbed my tree and got his drone. It got misdirected. So if
my story's better.
Well, I know your story's better, but this is some drone that some guy from the fire department was flying around in his backyard that wasn't even bigger than a beach ball, and he couldn't control it. And if it had fallen on somebody's head, it probably would have left a mark. So now that somebody is operating Toyota-sized fucking drones and this is a populated area. Well, except people don't want to live around you, but still.
It's just completely insane. There's no answers to any of this.
Well, okay, call the FAA.
What am I going to say to them?
You're going to say you're in charge of the air. That's why where the aviation comes in, and you're an administration and you're federal. So I want my airspace restricted over my house. I don't want any goddamn fucking things falling through my ceiling at night.
Every night I walk Swami and I have like Orson Welles narrating it in my head.
And it was New Jersey.
That's right. It was New Jersey.
What was the town? God damn it.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me look up. War of the World.
No, do it the honest way. Do it the honest way. It was, oh, God damn it. I can just hear him saying it. But I can't come up with it. Because you've said Morristown. That's all I can think of. Because I used to live there also. And now I've got that stuck in my head.
No, see, I never would have gotten this. Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
Grover's Mill. I knew it was some, like as hick a sounding of a place as you can put in New Jersey, right?
Where is this? Mercer County. I don't know where this is. But anyway, that's where apparently that's where the panic started.
Well, goddamn, can you imagine if the people of the 1930s had seen these drones over there? That would have goddamn been a real pisser, as Captain Lou would have said. All right, well, as long as you're just being monitored, they're not fully attacking yet. So should we do the program or what's going on?
Maybe they were coming at me trying to get my Jim Cornette action figures.
Well, that's because now pretty much the only chance for you to get an action figure at this point by Christmas, by the time you hear this, is to have an alien invasion bring it to your door. No, we are still open, ladies and gentlemen, at JimCornette.com. And I'm so tired. I'm so tired. But we are still open for business. But we got a mail, according to the people who keep track of these things at the post office. It's been announced we got to mail domestically by December 17th, unless we're overnighting things, which we're not, and we wouldn't charge you for that. And that means the feather bottom's got to put a label on it. That means it's got to be packed in the box. And that means I've got to already have signed it. So for God's sake, he's doing a final pickup. There's one more to go between now and then, but the final pickup before Christmas is Friday, December 13th. Well, what a date. In order for him to do the labels and everything that weekend and get it out the following Monday and Tuesday before the deadline. And, even if we don't come down your chimney for Christmas, we'd be more than happy to invade your home for a Happy New Year and some fine eggnog. So order now, but have low expectations the longer it gets into the month of December. Boy, what a sales pitch that was.
That's great.
I have signed so many goddamn, my shoulder is out. I think I'm going to have my AC joint replaced from autographing these, I think, 2,300 and something. See, we're computerized now. I never used to be able to count it exactly. To whatever amount of individual items I've autographed over the last 6 weeks or whatever. And so thank you one and all, and Merry Christmas, and your shit's on the way because we're caught up. Thank you. You've been a wonderful audience.
JimCornette.com.